You don't spend badly. You're not stupid. You're being farmed. Literally. This system is built to suck up every dollar the moment it hits your account, no matter how much you make. You think earning 500 grand a year means you're rich. Yet you open your banking app and it still looks like you're making 60, and then you blame yourself. That's the most disgusting part. They convince you the problem is willpower, while they already built the cage. And you're just a cash cow with a college degree. This isn't financial advice. This is math. In this video, I'm going to show you the consumption pipeline, the machine that automatically expands with your income. You get a raise, the bank raises your credit limit. The car dealer raises the price. The landlord raises the rent. The apps raise the fees. And you're still running like a hamster on a wheel. We'll expose the traps. Invisible subscriptions, 7-year car loans, housing inflation, convenience fees on delivery apps, one-click buying that removes the pain of paying, and job lock that keeps you too scared to walk away. Then I'll give you a 7-day plan, legal and realistic, to start keeping your money and moving toward financial independence. Why is it that the smarter you are, the harder you work, the more you earn, the more broke you feel? Why do you do everything right and still stay trapped? Is it really because you live large? Or is there an invisible hand steering every spending decision you make? Do you need another budgeting app? Or do you need to see the blueprint of the trap? We're going to rip it open right now. Welcome to the high-income farm, where high earners get drained down to the last drop. And now, keep rolling with Miles Invests. Picture this. You're in a high-rise, looking down at traffic. Great job, great paycheck, premium credit cards, and you still feel like you can't breathe at the end of the month. Here's the truth. You're not living in an economy. You're living inside a pipeline. The consumption pipeline. Your paycheck flows into it. And along the way, dozens of taps are already installed, pulling money out. Rent, insurance, car payments, subscriptions, convenience fees, credit card interest, the hidden tax of monthly payments. Every time you get a raise, the pipeline doesn't help you keep more. It just opens more taps, bigger taps, faster taps. They win when you work more and keep less. Here's the shocking part. A lot of extremely high earners still live paycheck to paycheck, meaning the money comes in and goes right back out with no cushion. You hear that and think, then who actually escapes? And that's exactly the feeling they want you to have. Because if someone making $500,000 a year can't save, the average person will surrender automatically and keep grinding. Zoom out. Productivity went up, but saving got crushed. You do more, faster, better, and yet you keep less. Your money didn't disappear. It changed owners. From your pocket to the system. Here's the standard script for a high earner. You get a 15% raise. You exhale, and you promise yourself, this year, I'm finally going to save, but that same week, you get the emails. Upgrade offer, higher limit, special financing, monthly payments you don't have to think about. And then you start looking at a newer car. Because your coworker just upgraded, you start eyeing a bigger place. Because you deserve it, you order more delivery. Because you're busy, you tap buy now more. Because you're tired, and suddenly, nothing changes. Your month still feels tight, sometimes tighter, because your fixed costs just grew. That's the point. High earners aren't broke because of a $7 coffee. High earners get broke because the big stuff gets set to automatic. And the moment it's automatic, you lose power. Trap number 1. Subscriptions. The quietest thief in your life. You tell yourself, it's just Netflix, Spotify, iCloud, a gym membership, a couple work tools. The problem is, you don't remember how many you have. The payment system is so smooth you don't feel it. You think you're spending maybe $80 a month. In reality, a lot of people are spending $200, $250, even more, and they have no idea. That gap is literally your freedom getting siphoned out with a straw. It's like you go to work every month, and there's someone standing at the bank door with a card reader, swiping a little, until you're drained. And the worst part? It's legal. It's authorized, because you clicked yes 3 years ago on a random Tuesday night. Now we do the math, because math doesn't lie. If you're leaking about $187 a month in forgotten subscriptions, and instead of losing it, you invest it into a simple index fund with a long-term expected return around 8% a year, over 25 years you don't end up with a few thousand. You're looking at roughly $170,000 to $180,000 for money you forgot you were even spending. From plugging one leak, this is where you wake up. Not because you're broke, but because you're being drained every single month and lulled to sleep with, it's only $9.99. If you want more content like this, exposing the traps and building real financial independence, hit follow, because the next part gets even uglier. Trap number 2, the car. A car isn't just transportation. It's a modern debt contract wrapped in leather and a giant touchscreen. The dirty trick is stretching the loan term. 7 years, 84 months. It sounds lighter each month, but you just change yourself to a fixed payment longer than most career cycles. And the car loses value every day. You're paying interest on something that's decaying. Even worse, it becomes the reason you can't breathe at work. Because if you lose your job for 2 months, the car payment doesn't care. So you tolerate overtime, toxic managers, and stress you shouldn't accept, just to keep paying for the thing that was supposed to make you feel successful. More math. If you're paying $748 a month for a car, but you choose a normal option, say $350 a month, that's a difference of about $398 every month. If that gap gets invested consistently, with an expected return around 8% a year, for 20 years, you're looking at over $230,000. $230,000. Just from not needing a car to prove something. Feel how insane that is. You're not short on money because your paycheck is small. You're short because the bank turned lifestyle into a monthly bill. They win when you trade your future freedom for a temporary feeling every time you open the door and smell the new car scent. Trap number 3. Housing. This is the heaviest punch, because it's usually your biggest fixed cost. Home prices rise faster than wages, faster than your ability to save, and you get pressured to chase it because you want safety. A good neighborhood, good schools. The problem is, you're not competing against other families. You're competing against cheap money, policy, investors, big funds, people using leverage. If home prices climb around 121%, while income rises only around 29%, you're not falling behind because you're lazy. You're falling behind because the game is designed so assets run faster than paychecks. You can work overtime, but you can't work overtime faster than assets compound. So you get stuck in the loop. Raise goes up, rent goes up, rent goes up, saving goes down. Reality check number 1. Listen carefully. Earning more doesn't automatically fix anything if your fixed costs expand with your income. You can hit 200,000, 300,000, even 500,000 a year and still feel suffocated if housing, car payments, insurance, childcare, subscriptions, and lifestyle eat the entire raise. That's why high earners keep saying, I don't understand where my money goes. I do ander. It goes exactly where the system wants it to go. And if you see yourself in this right now, stay with me. Hit follow if you want to escape the hamster wheel. Not to get rich quick, to build real financial independence, so your paycheck stops being a chain. Trap number 4. Convenience. Delivery apps.
Awesome, thanks.
Grocery delivery. Everything delivered. They sell you a comfortable lie. Your time is valuable. But they're not just selling time. They're selling a habit. And habits are gold mines. In a lot of places, a $15 meal turns into almost $30 after fees, tips, service charges, and priority delivery. You're not paying a few extra bucks. You're paying a markup that can hit 50, even 80% versus cooking or picking it up yourself. The worst part is you start treating it as normal. You work harder because you deserve convenience. And then convenience takes back the exact money you earned. You think you're buying dinner? You're buying a hook that hits your account every week. Human factor number 1. The pain of paying. People spend less when it hurts. Cash hurts because you watch your wallet get thinner. Swiping hurts less. One-click buying almost doesn't hurt at all. And big tech understands that better than you do. They design interfaces to remove friction. Fewer steps. Less thinking. Less time for your brain to say, wait. One tap, dopamine spikes. The box shows up, and you feel rewarded. That's behavioral addiction. It's basically a slot machine for your bank account. And here's what's scary. High earners are even more vulnerable because they're exhausted, busy, and they give themselves permission to treat themselves. The system doesn't need you poor. It just needs you out of control when you're at your weakest. Now we hit the dirtiest mechanism, interest and the debt loop. You can earn a lot, but if you carry credit card debt at 20-something% APR, you're running on a treadmill that's moving backward. Simple example, you owe $10,000 at 24% APR. That's roughly $200 of interest every month. If you pay $200 a month, you're not paying down debt. You're paying interest. You're working just to stay in place. And the system loves that. They'll hand you points, cash back, miles. So you feel smart while you're paying interest like a tax. Reality is, you don't win 2% cash back if you're paying 24% interest. This isn't financial advice. This is math. And it's not just APR. It's fees. Late fees. Over-limit fees. Cash advance fees. Foreign transaction fees. Service fees. Banks and financial companies didn't get rich because they hate you. They got rich because they understand your behavior. You'll forget the due date. You'll say, I'll deal with it next month. You'll think, I've got too much going on this week. And they plant profit right inside your mistakes. That's predatory. That's a trap. The busier you are, the more they win, the more skilled you are at your job, the less attention you pay to the small leaks. Because you assume they're not a big deal. But stacked together, those leaks become a full extra paycheck stolen every year. And then they turn around and say, you should budget better. No, you should see the design. You're being built to lose. Now comes the double income trap. It sounds like good news. 2 people working. Income jumps. But a lot of families end up with less breathing room because fixed costs eat the entire upgrade. When both partners work, you often need 2 cars. You need childcare. You need housing in a more expensive area to make the commute work. And you start buying anything that saves time just to survive. And then you're locked in. You can't slow down. One person takes a break. The whole structure shakes. People love to say, we earn way more than the previous generation. Sure, but if you keep less, you're not moving forward. You're sprinting to stay in place. That's why so many Henrys, high earners, not rich yet, look successful on the outside and feel one emergency away from chaos. Now the most dangerous chain of all. Job lock. Health insurance tied to your job. Visas tied to your job. Benefits tied to your job. You hate your company, but you're terrified of losing coverage. You want 6 months off to recover, but your fixed costs won't allow it. You want to start something on your own, but the monthly bills are too heavy, so you stay quiet. You tolerate nonsense. You tell yourself, just a little longer. And every year, your options shrink because you upgraded the house, upgraded the car, upgraded the lifestyle. Pause for 1 second and ask yourself, are you working to live or living to keep the job? If you want more videos that break the lock and map the escape, hit follow. No magic tricks, just a real blueprint. Human factor number 2, status and social pressure. Corporate life doesn't have to say, go spend money. It just has to make you watch other people spend. Your coworker gets a new car. Suddenly your car feels embarrassing. Your friends upgrade homes. You feel behind. Instagram makes it look like everyone is living luxury, and you're just working. So you reward yourself. You upgrade. You buy. And you call it self-care. But that kind of self-care is a disguised loan. It buys you a feeling for one weekend and trades away your freedom for 10 years. The worst part is, you don't feel manipulated. Because it doesn't look like a scam. It looks like normal, successful life. Disgusting. The system turns you into a consumption unit, not a human with a dream of freedom. Reality check number 2. Budgeting won't save you if you don't touch fixed costs. You can cut coffee, cut a few dinners out, but if you're carrying a house that's too big, a car that's too expensive, and a stack of auto-billing subscriptions, you're just scooping water out of a sinking boat. And listen, a high credit score is not winning. A high credit score just proves you play the bank's rules well. It doesn't prove you're free. You can have an 8 to 100 score and still be a slave to bills. You can earn free miles and still have no emergency fund. Don't confuse the scoreboard. The goal is financial independence, not a trophy for being the system's best customer. Now, we shift to the most important part, action. Because understanding without doing still keeps you farmed. My rule is simple. 1. Plug the fixed cost leaks. 2. Automate saving before you can spend it. 3. Add friction to spending and remove friction from investing. You cannot use willpower to beat a system engineered around human behavior. Willpower gets tired. The system doesn't. So you need your own system to fight back. You don't have to become cheap. You just have to become the owner again. And the owner decides where the money goes before someone else decides for them. Over the next 7 days, you do 4 things, and you'll feel the pressure drop. Day 1 and day 2. A ruthless audit. Open your last 3 months of statements. No shame. No judgment. Just circle. Circle anything recurring. Anything automatic. Anything you don't even remember agreeing to. Subscriptions. App fees. Bank fees. Memberships. All the small stuff. Then cancel at least 5 of them immediately. No negotiation. Day 3 and day 4. Attack the big fixed costs. Call your phone carrier. Call your insurance. Renegotiate your plan. Review your car situation. Review your contract. You don't have to change the car today, but you do have to stop upgrading. If you're paying too much, you build an exit plan. No drama. Just math. Wherever you're leaking, you plug it. Day 5. Pay yourself first. This is the kill shot to the consumption pipeline. Set an automatic transfer the moment your paycheck hits. Not end of month. The moment the money lands. A portion goes into your emergency fund or your investment account. Start small if you need to. 5%. Then increase. The key is automation. Because if you wait, the system will take that money with convenience, with fees, with treat yourself spending. Day 6. Split your money into 2 lanes. 1 spending account. 1 wealth building account. Make spending finite. Make saving harder to touch. Don't rely on memory. Don't rely on discipline. Design it. Day 7. Add friction to spending. Turn off one-click buying. Remove your card from shopping apps. Move delivery apps off your home screen, or delete them completely. Set a 24-hour rule for anything over $100. You're not banning yourself from buying. You're giving your brain time to wake up. And the magic is, most cravings die after 1 night of sleep. Then do the opposite for investing. Remove friction. Automatic. Recurring. Boring. You're redesigning your environment so you win by default. That's how normal people beat a predatory system. No genius required. Just the right mechanics. Want one more math punch to fully wake you up? A $7 coffee, 5 days a week, is about $150 a month. If you invest that consistently at around 8% a year for 30 years, you're looking at over $200,000. 200,000. From a small habit, and I'm not saying never drink coffee. I'm saying look at the power of cash flow when it belongs to you, instead of the system. If you want me to break down more habits like this, one habit equals how much money in 20 years? Comment the word math and hit follow. We're building the road out of the farm. Now, stitch this into a survival strategy. You keep your fixed costs lower than what you can afford. Because can afford is the bank's language, not the language of freedom. You set a ceiling for your car, a ceiling for your housing, a ceiling for your lifestyle. And you prioritize an emergency fund to break job lock. When you have 6 months of living expenses, you start gaining power. You can say no, you can switch jobs, you can negotiate, you can take time to learn a skill without panic. Financial independence doesn't start with a hot stock. It starts with options, and options come from monthly surplus. If you have no surplus, you have no choices, no matter how high your income looks on paper. Quick recap. 1. You're not bad with money. You're being engineered to spend. 2. The consumption pipeline expands with your income through subscriptions, cars, housing, convenience, one-click buying, high-interest debt, and job lock. 3. You don't win with willpower. You win with your own system. Lower fixed costs. Automate saving. Add friction to spending. Remove friction from investing. And here's the closing line. Listen closely. This isn't financial advice. This is math. If you plug just $300 of monthly leaks and invest consistently, your future looks completely different in 10, 20 years. Now I want you to answer one brutal question in the comments. What's the biggest leak feeding the system with your money right now? Your car, your housing, subscriptions, or convenience apps? Comment one word, and I'll make the next video targeting that exact trap. Follow Miles Invests if you want financial independence, not just a bigger paycheck.